All right, how we doing? We're live. Let's get a quick audio visual check as we get into this live stream with Bitcoin performing very, very nicely, rising in the face of resistance. It faked out quite a few times. I was outlining for you guys how this was working, so those of you who were subscribed will have understood this price action very well. And we've now just found resistance at my $43,000 resistance line. So very, very nice predictable price action following through. How's everyone doing? Smash up the likes as you're joining into this live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's pump up the likes on this one. I got as long as you guys are here for. Here we go. So perfect, all's good. So we ended up, topping out over here, finding a little bit of resistance. Now moving back down a little bit. Short term, the good sign that we have on this chart, really, in my opinion, is that we've now managed to, break a fair bit of resistance in this range. I mean, the resistance at psychological resistance at 40k, 42 even, we're above that. These are levels which we can now be coming back down to back test and find a little bit of support in the short term. I'm not saying we will, but we definitely could. However, this is a very, very concerning point in the market. Everybody is missing this. Where is the fur coat? I don't actually know. I think it's in the living room. But this is a situation right here where if you're paying attention, you're going to notice some things which to me are incredibly concerning, right? The day before yesterday, we had a reading of 33 on our Fear and Greed Index. Yesterday, we had a reading of 37. Today, we have a reading of 45. I'm not sure why it still says we're in fear, because this is quite obvious neutral territory right now. This is a big deal, ladies and gents. The fact that Bitcoin is right now, crypto is right now, the space is so bullish compared to where we were before, so much less bearish compared to where we were before at resistance levels. Because here's the thing, is that we haven't actually broken the resistance levels yet. We did break some of them, but the whole range right now, in my opinion, is going to be functioning as resistance. And these are not things which we can just be brushing. Chart frozen here. That's really strange. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Had a little bit of lag. Hopefully all is okay with the live stream. Let me know if everything was fine there. I have no idea what just happened. But yeah, as I was saying right here, we did break out of some of these resistance levels, but we still have resistance right now. We still have resistance, and people are getting really positive with the price action right now. And I mean, to me, look, I mean, I want to stay realistic with these markets, and I don't think that the majority of traders are in this space right now. We're not seeing huge rallies for altcoins, to be quite honest. I mean, it's mainly just the majors, Bitcoin and Ethereum, that are rallying up quite nicely. But bottom line, the real recent high that we have in this chart, in my opinion, is going to be at this 44.5 level. I've been saying this for a long time. We still haven't overcome it, but each time we inch higher on this chart, people are getting progressively more and more excited, and I would argue for little reason. I don't actually believe that there is good reason to be getting more and more bullish as we push these levels. However, like I said, each time we breach some of these areas, the good side of this is that we are, potentially opening up the possibility of finding support if we do drop lower again, and that's where things can get perhaps a little bit more exciting, right? Is that when we look at this on, for example, a 4-hour time frame, and we look at where the momentum is on the chart, it's now quite obvious support. If the chart drops down into this area, we can expect to find support here and then rally up even higher. This is a very, very crucial point in the market, and so actually I want to show you guys one big chart which no one's really talking about for some reason. I mean, to me, this is super obvious. I'm sure some people are discussing it, but I'm not hearing enough of it, where, Bitcoin's got a few very key levels of resistance on this chart. I was showing this to you guys for quite a while, and then I stopped showing it because, basically stopped being relevant. But, right here, we have this resistance range that we're still in, which kind of stretches all the way up to about $44,000. That's what we're in at the moment. Above this, we then have the $50,000 range, kind of stretching up to about 52. This area previously providing a little bit of resistance and support for Bitcoin. Historically, this is where we got the big market top in September, moving us into October, where we had another bullish month. And so you know, we had quite a bit of very important price action following around this price area. So this is an area that naturally I'd expect a little bit of resistance at as well. And it lines up with the Ichimoku Cloud. This is all to say, though, that I think that if Bitcoin does manage to breach 44K, even though I'm very, very hesitant about the market right now with this fear and greed rating of 45, I do believe that if Bitcoin is able to break above this yellow line, it's probably going to shoot up to these two red lines right here. These two red lines are exactly this green box right here. Then, if we manage to breach this level, I think it's going to be very easy. If Bitcoin rises above 52, 53, I think it's going to be very easy for Bitcoin to shoot all the way up to 60, and that's where new all-time highs are practically guaranteed, is anywhere above this green box. In my opinion, that would be way too much bullish price action to ignore. And right now, the first key frontier to even break is this resistance level that we are right in at the moment. You know, one of the things that I'd just like to take a brief moment to remind you guys of in this state in the market is that, you know, at the real, you know, how do I say, action and excitement of resistance levels is where markets generally tend to get rejections. I know that it might not feel that way, and, you know, we're going to see numbers that prove this, like the fear and greed index shooting up right now, and just the fact that the market looks like it really wants to pump up. But that's how it always looks when we're at market tops. And it's worth keeping that in mind. If you were back in the market when Bitcoin set its all-time high at $69,000, you'll probably remember that it looked really obvious that Bitcoin was probably going to be rallying up. But of course, that's generally where it falls the hardest. I'm not saying that that's going to happen here, but what I am saying is that there is key and very clear technical resistance at this range, and to just brush it off because you don't want to entertain the ideas that your investments can drop down again is incredibly foolish. I'm not here to do that. If I was here to lie to you guys and talk about how Bitcoin's looking super, super bullish and all of that stuff, this would be a different channel. I'd be way richer. Let me make that point very clear. Like, YouTubers make way more money when we chat a lot of shit, but that's not what this is about. This channel is all about seeking truth and profiting off it. And yeah, like I said, there is a, you know, huge area of resistance right here, which I'd like to point out. I shared this information with VIP members, but I just want to point it out to you guys here on this public live stream as well. If you're enjoying this video so far, by the way, do me a favor, smash up the likes and subscribe if you're new to the YouTube channel as well. I'm just getting some I'm getting a warning from YouTube that the connection might not be good. Can you guys let me know if the connection is okay on this live stream? Please let me know if everything is fine. I hope it is okay. It looks fine on my side. But what I did share with VIP members is, oh no, it is a little bit jumpy, isn't it? It's not perfect. But what I was mentioning is that if we look at this kind of $40,000 range, right? Every time that Bitcoin had ever hit it, in some serious way, we got a rejection off this level, and all good, thank you very much. Every time Bitcoin had hit this level from below, like from traveling up towards the level, we got a rejection. So bam, right here, a rejection. When we broke 42K for the first time, we still got a rejection 2 days prior, which is very, very important to keep in mind. And then again, when we dropped below this level here on the big crash in May, where Bitcoin, you know, hit its all-time high and crashed all the way down to 30, which was more than a 50% crash, again, we found resistance here consistently. You know, even again on the time that we broke it, we found resistance just before that. This is an area that's always offered Bitcoin resistance without fail, and the fact that we're traveling higher in it now, to me, isn't really like that's not really going to seal the deal. The other thing that I want to point out, and you can see this as a bullish thing as well, but to me, you know, one of the things I like to do is read a little bit deeper into the chart and understand where momentum is. The RSI, for example, is probably going to show this to us pretty clearly. If we wait for this to load up, yeah, we can see it a little bit on this chart right here, where, you know, initially we got this big pump up right here on the daily time frame, and now we're kind of tapering off, showing us that with this momentum indicator, because that's what the RSI is, we gained a lot of strength very quickly in the market on this one very bullish day, and we're still gaining strength, but slowly. And this is potentially a sign that actually, you know, the market could be losing momentum. But just pushing the RSI to the side, we can analyze this just by straight looking at the candles. You know, to me, this is quite clear, where if we look at how, you know, we got this big initial pump, and then the next 3 days have been slow climbs upwards, you know, that is generally, I mean, in conventional markets, not a good sign. I mean, for Bitcoin, like I said, you can interpret this as strength. I mean, on the flip side of it, and this is actually very bullish, is that Bitcoin is in a very big area of resistance, and it still hasn't been smacked back down. And I think a big reason for that is that actually this downtrend has been so aggressive. You know, I was talking about this for a long time, how we need to have some sort of real reaction rally, some sort of real, at least relief rally, and we've now gotten that, like, very, very clearly. If we measure this from the low to the current price we're at right now, or even to the high, which is, I mean, basically the same thing, we're up by about 30%. That's a real reaction rally, in my opinion, right? You look at this low up to this high, this was 13%. You know, obviously this ended up, you know, basically doubling Bitcoin. But, you know, broadly speaking, we don't get reaction rallies that are this extreme often, which is absolutely great. I mean, you know, if you were watching this YouTube channel back when we were at these lows, you'll remember I was super bullish on Bitcoin. Everyone in their nan was talking about how Bitcoin was going to crash, but I could not entertain ideas like that, because to me it was very clear that actually this market was far, far overdue a correction to the upside, and I was calling for, you know, $40,000 up to 42, potentially even 44 as a final frontier of resistance. And that's the thing, ladies and gents, is we're not past those levels yet. As soon as we get past, you know, effectively this yellow line right here, I do see a big price explosion for Bitcoin, and I want to break down why for you on this chart. Again, if we look at this chart and we just look at what's happening in between these two green boxes, the green box over here at roughly 42 and the green box over here at roughly 52, a nice big $10,000 range, you can see that actually quite consistently, Bitcoin has managed to rise all the way up to the very next green box when it broke this one. And when it broke, when it broke this box as resistance, it went all the way up to the next one as resistance. But when it broke this box as support, it generally came all the way down as support to the next box. There's one exception right here, but the next time when we break below this 52K box, we fell right down to the next 42K box and actually much further lower. Then again, when we found resistance here, it sent us back down. Found resistance here again, found resistance here again, found resistance here again. But when we broke this box, the next time right here, look, we managed to rise all the way up to the next one. It wasn't such an obvious rally because it didn't happen quickly, right? On this occasion, it happened really quickly. This was just a matter of, I mean, maybe just over a week. On this occasion, it took a little bit longer. I'll concede it wasn't the fastest thing ever. I think it looks like about 30 days of price action. But we still went all the way up to the very next box. Again, we found resistance here, and look, we fell all the way down, back down to our support box over here and over here. And again, when we found support here, we went all the way up to the next box. The reason I'm pointing this stuff out to you is that this means that this $10,000 gap between 42 and 52,000 roughly, you know, is quite a predictable range. And as a trader, I like to see those kind of things, right? When I'm looking for, you know, easy trading opportunities, I want things to be predictable. You know, a lot of people in these markets, they don't really understand how to trade, and so naturally they do a lot of things that I would deem to be, and many others would deem to be fairly stupid and just overly complicated. I mean, that's what people do when they're not good traders. It's quite natural. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this live stream so far, I see all of you tuning into the live stream. Do me a favor and smash up the likes once more. Really do appreciate those of you who have done so already. Thank you so much. You know, like I was saying, a lot of people who are new to the markets or just generally not good traders, they overcomplicate things as a crutch because they think it needs to be complicated, but it doesn't. It's very clear to see that generally when we collapse below one level, we fall to the next. When we find support at one level, we rise to the next, and we don't do a whole lot more in between, you know, these two boxes, which is why I'm saying that if Bitcoin can rise above this line right here, this 44, 43K area, which is basically where we are finding resistance right now, you know, that's where I would be expecting quite a nice blast off towards the low $50,000 range, which is, yeah, I mean, pretty much this high. And actually, you know, if you've been paying close attention to this channel, that's something you'll notice. And it's quite normal TA, actually. It's not even unique to this channel, is that all I'm looking for is seeing Bitcoin with how it reacts to its, you know, trend highs, right? So there was a high right here. You know, Bitcoin was dropping down, it rallied up, and it set a high right here, right? So I'm going to put a line right there, and that's one trend high in the market, which I want to see how we interact with, if at all. We may not even get up there. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed, but you know, that's an important trend high right there. Another one right here, look, we're trending down, and look, we set a high right here at about $52,000. So this is also where I'd like to set a yellow line. I want to see how we interact with this level. You know, then there's also other trend. I mean, this one's a little bit more complicated. This is harder to show you, so I'm just going to skip this one. But then I think, you know, the next key level is just looking at, you know, where Bitcoin is finding a lot of support over here in the 60K range. And so I'm going to drop another line right there. And this again, you know, to me is good enough to show me you where, you know, the market could be finding a little bit more, you know, resistance if it does end up shooting higher. And for the life of me, I cannot remove this fucking arrow and it's pissing me off. So let me just do that. And anyway, we can see right here, you know, where there is some key areas of resistance, and where if we break these areas, I would expect this to rise pretty quickly up to the very next ones. And obviously that would be very, very exciting. Thank you very much to those of you showing your support in the comments. Do appreciate you all very, very much. Yeah, doing a relatively early live stream here today in Dubai. It's 3 p.m, but hopefully I will be doing another one later on today when more people are awake and so on. But I definitely will do another video. I don't quite know yet if it'll be another live stream as well. This is being very, very annoying right now. So let me just try and refresh the whole chart because I can't seem to use TradingView correctly at the moment, and I don't understand why. It's very, very frustrating. So let's wait for this to open up again. Let's see what else we have here. I've got a bunch of notes here. There's an interesting chart I'd like to show you as well. Actually, it's another one that I've you know, potentially prepared with a huge $100,000 Bitcoin target. Now look, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. It's you know, it's almost a little bit of a pipe dream, but at the moment at least, you know, it's going to be quite a long time until Bitcoin can get there. But it's still worth showing you this chart. This is actually a chart of Bitcoin. If we look at it, you know, forming a symmetrical triangle where we managed to get a breakout, and it was more of a fake out. We didn't quite use it very well. We fell right back into it, and right now we're facing this area as resistance. This chart serves two purposes. Number one, it's to show you that we're at resistance right now, and the last time we hit this line, we got quite a nasty drop down. Not saying that it's going to happen again, but I'm just telling you this is what happens at resistance, right? I mean, whether you like it or not, resistance is bearish. And but the other thing to keep in mind though is that this is generally a bullish pattern, and if we do get a breakout, you know, we could actually be looking at a 138% breakout to the upside. And why have I got that number? Well, it's purely because the wedge, if we look at this, sorry, the triangle, if we measure the height of it in percentage terms up to its first hit of the resistance, which was in just before May, you can see that actually this was a 138% range. And so all we do is basically drag this arrow all the way over here, and this gives us a potential breakout where we could be looking at another 138.92% rise, which would put us at a beautiful price target of $101,000. And the other thing that I just want us to be aware of, as we are now basically knocking on the door of a very serious bullish breakout, is that you know, as far as the 1 day time frame goes, well, we are still in resistance. I think it's worth noting that just right at the beginning, we are still in this resistance range. So again, you know, I want to make this very, very clear. A lot of people fell for it right here. This is where it was very obvious to me right now. It's actually a little bit less obvious to me at the moment because of how strong the downtrend has been. If this downtrend was a little bit less extreme, I would be even more bearish right now. But because the downtrend was very, very extreme, this is really just, I mean, I still see it as a reaction rally. This is the thing, is like we can go up to 52k and I'd still probably be seeing this as a reaction rally because you know, we're seeing all the classic signs of people getting too excited too quickly. Once again, I cannot stress this enough with the Fear and Greed Index ratings right here, showing us the very same point that I was warning you guys about that could be very, very dangerous. Pablo mentioning that people are getting out the lotion. Here we go. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, EMA resistance right here as well. But I guess one thing that's actually working in Bitcoin's favor is if we take a look at another chart where I haven't really drawn any lines, let's actually delete all of these lines and we take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud. The good news that I'm seeing here is that, like, see this resistance area in the mid 44k range is fairly close now. I mean, we're only about $2,000 away from breaking it. And if we do break it, the good news is that until about, I mean, late mid-February, we don't have resistance from the Ichimoku Cloud until we get a lot higher, you know, into the very high 40k range or, you know, low 50k range as well. So, you know, the Ichimoku Cloud isn't really going to be weighing resistance on Bitcoin right now on this long-term chart. Later on, this is the thing, what I'm basically saying here is that if Bitcoin is delayed for some reason in breaking out, it could get a lot harder for Bitcoin to rise up. But right now, this is all to say that I'm seeing Bitcoin have a potentially bullish window for another, you know, $8,000 to $10,000 more or less, which can actually be quite amazing if Bitcoin actually gets a breakout very, very quickly. Peter's asking what's the lotion for. Bless him, he must be new to the channel. We'll fix that for you, but I won't be so explicit right now. Ladies and gents, do me a favor if you are enjoying this one so far. We got 800 viewers. Can we please smash up the likes if we are enjoying this live stream so far? I do appreciate you all for doing so. If you've done it already, thank you all very, very much. If you don't want to, of course, then yeah, that's totally fine. Wow, I'm having a problem with the chart again. This is so strange. It only happens when I live stream. And only occasionally, so bear with me while I again refresh the chart. And actually, while that's loading up, let's move our attention back over to this. This Ichimoku Cloud showing us the very same. It's the same Ichimoku Cloud I showed you just now, showing us that if we do get a breakout, we might be able to have quite a quick rise up fairly quickly before then, you know, encountering a little bit of resistance. And at this point, yeah, this is where things could get a little bit ugly. But broadly speaking, this can turn out to be actually, you know, one of the bigger rallies that Bitcoin could be seeing relatively soon. All falling in line with how I was telling you guys when we were lower and when we were higher, that I'm still expecting another major rally for Bitcoin this year. I still fully expect that Bitcoin can reach levels like $100,000 and so on, because the thing to keep in mind is, and we can actually see it right now. You know, I don't know how conscious you guys are of this, but you know, at the moment, this is a time in the market where people are actually potentially getting bullish really quickly again. And this is the point I was making on the channel when people didn't believe me, is that you know, all it takes is a few days of Bitcoin trading in very exciting ways for everybody to get very, very excited again. And as soon as they get excited, I mean, really, like, people are not buying Bitcoin because it's good tech or because you know, they want unconfiscatable money that the government can't seize or control or anything like that. I mean, it's a good benefit of Bitcoin, don't get me wrong, it's why I love it, but bottom line, you know, when most people are trying to buy Bitcoin and make money off it, well, I mean, that's where they're buying it, is to make money off it. And so you're only really going to be interested in that make money benefit if Bitcoin is actually rising up. And that's the thing, is it only takes a few days of, you know, fairly extreme buying pressure. We're up by 30% now from our low, which was like a week or two ago, for people to start getting really excited again. And that's what can really set the market off. But naturally, that's also what puts us in a lot of danger, right? That's also what puts us in a lot of danger, because a lot of people right now are buying into this already. What we're going to start to see, I think, and I'll take a look at this as well on this live if I can find it. Guys, if one of you from my team are watching the stream, can you just drop me the link for the what do you call it, the long and short ratios, or because I don't actually know the best source of this information, but you can send it on Telegram. What was my point? Right, yeah, we're going to be seeing more people opening up long positions, more people closing their short positions, and so on. This is what I think that we could be in, as a little bit of a short squeeze, right? A lot of people probably aren't even thinking about this right now because they're just getting excited about the fact that Bitcoin is rising up. But again, I mean, we're rising up in a bearish trend, right? Like, it's going to have to take a lot to erase all the damage that Bitcoin has caused. I mean, that has been caused in the Bitcoin space over this past while, because what is going on? Honestly, this is ridiculous. Because, you know, we are in a situation where, you know, we've been trending down very aggressively for a long time, and naturally, you know, when we stop trending down, you know, we're going to have to do certain things to show that we're actually forming a reversal. And, you know, one of those key ones is, for example, you know, we form patterns that look like the market is actually bottoming out, like a double bottom and so on. We haven't seen anything like that. We've set a brand new swing low, and we're now trending up by 30%, breaking some resistance levels and so on. Someone's saying, get a better computer. I'm trying to, but I'm in Dubai and they're out of stock. So I don't actually have much options available to me. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Let me see if I can fix this while I show you guys my beautiful face. Thank you for all the compliments, by the way. Everyone's saying I look good today. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I'm trying for you guys. I think this is going to work. Bear with. And go on. And guys, by the way, if you do have questions, please do begin dropping them in the comments right now. I've got the chart working again. Here we go. Let me pull it up for you. Bam, right there. And let's get right back to it. Let me see what else I wanted to show you guys in this live stream as well. Yeah, it's just more resistance levels breaking, which is absolutely great. There is one potentially very, very dangerous moving average that could be causing some troubles for Bitcoin right now. Let me pull this up for you guys and show you what I'm thinking of this. I think this is going to be a little bit controversial in this video as well, but man, you guys know I love being controversial. I got no problems with that. Got balls of steel coming from here. So absolutely no problems with being controversial. You guys already know the deal. Take a look at this with Bitcoin. This red line is what I want to focus your attention on. So let me hide this one and let me make this one thicker. There we go. This red line is the 50-day moving average, and it is a fairly useful indicator to provide support and resistance on the market. You can see how going back to the beginning of 2021, it allowed us to find some pretty nice support twice, which triggered the rallies up to the all-time high. And then even when we were, fairly actively setting brand new all-time highs, we ended up rallying up as well, all the way up to a brand new all-time high. It also functioned as resistance. This is a serious line. I'm showing this to tell you that this is a serious line that weighs on the chart. It actually is very, very important for the chart, in my opinion. And right now, we are potentially getting ready to find resistance here again. This is important, in my opinion, because if we're seeing signs like this, this is actually telling us in very clear ways that, there's still a lot more resistance here. And I guess this is the point that I can't look past. I've made my point very clear, right? Like if Bitcoin manages to rise above that mid 44K level, I'm seeing a big blast off. There is no resistance really beyond that point that I'm seeing. There's no horizontal resistance, there's no moving average resistance, there's nothing. But right now, where we are, where people are getting very, very like this for me is the key level, where if Bitcoin can rise just $1,000 or $2,000 higher than where it is right now, it's flying. It's in a really, really good place. But until and unless that happens, it's still under a lot of pressure. It's still under a lot of pressure, and again, like I want to be bullish, right? Like the market's up 30% for fuck's sakes. Like I want to be excited about this, but at the same time, I want to be realistic, right? Like again, so many people just could not accept the idea that this would potentially be the top for the market. And again, like when we hit highs like 52K, because this was a fairly clear profiled, obvious high as well. We had a very, very clear situation here where a lot of people, could not accept the fact that Bitcoin was at resistance, and then it dropped, and they were just completely blindsided and just, really, really shocked by what happened in the market. That's what I'm struggling to get past. I want to take some questions on this topic before I head over to the altcoins. I have a potentially very, very nice bit of analysis to share with you guys on XRP, but I'll do that, I don't know, maybe not in this live stream, perhaps later on today. So make sure you are subscribed so that you catch that content within a few hours. Again, if you're enjoying this live stream so far, smash up the likes. Thank you all very much for doing so. Shout out to 𝗙𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗦 in the chat, telling me that I'm looking sexy, Habibi. Thank you very much, bro. Do I snowboard in Dubai? No, I don't do anything like that. Can I take a look at the Ethereum chart? I will. I just want to cover a little bit of the questions for Bitcoin just for the moment. So if you do have any, do me a favor and tag me. Someone's asking for me to take a look at 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏. The way you tag me, by the way, is writing @SammyLoyal just at the beginning of your comment, and it will autofill to my name. And that way you guarantee that I read your comment. Otherwise, there are too many, and I will probably miss it. But let's wait for 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 to load up. This isn't even an issue with my machine right now. I mean, this is way too much lag. And it's only happening on the TradingView website. I've tested it. When I showed you my screen, I was testing it on other things, and it was working totally fine. So it's literally just TradingView that's being glitchy right now, which is quite annoying. Let's see what we have here in the chat. What will my entry be? I won't be sharing information on that because I've been talking about that inside of VIP, so that's where it's going to stay until those trades are finished, and then I'll talk about it later on. Yeah, I can't show you 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, unfortunately. It's just not playing ball. Let me see if I can pull this up on a different chart. Yeah, no charts are loading as well. The whole TradingView thing is glitched, actually. I don't know what to do in this. I've never had this problem before. Could I reset the chart? Nope, that's not helping. Maybe refresh the page. Yep, that worked. There we go. Let's see if it loads up the chart now. Go over to Bitcoin. Nope, not working. I have no idea. That probably is actually going to mean that I need to wrap up this stream relatively soon and try and fix this problem. Let me see what questions we got here, though, while I'm trying to figure this out. Fibonacci, yeah, I really want to take a look at some of the Fibonacci retracements. Actually, that would be very, very interesting. Let me pull that up. I'll find a way. I've been dealing with technology issues all my life, being a young boy that was always on the computer and stuff like that. So this will be fine. Fibonacci retracements would be very, very interesting. So yeah, let's take a look at them. Shit, no, not coming through. Not coming through. Let me use a different browser altogether. Somebody said to use Brave. Oh, now it's loaded up. Okay. Nah, this is stupid. Let me use a totally different browser just to get this working once and for all. Bear with me. It's taking its time. There we go. Oh, I'm not logged in on Brave. That's totally fine. We don't need to be logged in for this. It's a very straightforward chart that I want to show you anyway. Do you know what I'm gonna do is just unplug the webcam. Maybe that helps a touch. It's a shame that I have to do that, but that's let me. There we go. And let's bring up the chart now. Hopefully this helps. I really don't know. This is the issue with live streams, is if you have a technical issue, it just kills the whole thing dead in the water. You can't do anything about it. But anyway, at least I know where the tools are and so on. So let's head over to Bitcoin against the dollar on the Coinbase chart. Right here, and then I'm gonna move over to the left hand side and pull up a Fibonacci, and all I want to do actually is just draw a Fibonacci retracement from the very top of our trend to the very bottom, which is right on this wick, and this can tell us where some of the key resistance points could be on this chart moving forward. You know, where each individual Fibonacci level that's listed here could actually be quite a problem for Bitcoin. This Fibonacci retracement though doesn't actually line up with any of the levels I was talking about. The 236 level does line up because this is you know, right around $42,000, which is where I was expecting to potentially find a little bit of resistance, but that's pretty much it. The 382 level at 47k, yeah, there is a little bit of resistance here, but I wouldn't actually be too worried about it. It certainly could harm Bitcoin in the short term, you know, potentially rising up to this. Oh, this is a very thin line. Let me thicken this up a little bit. There we go. That's better. You know, potentially rising up to this level, getting a small pullback, but I would expect that we can break it. And this is where the 0.5 level lies, is this 52k area. So this is definitely what could be, you know, what weighs the market down a little bit more, especially considering, you know, like I showed you with one of the charts recently, that this actually, you know, is where Bitcoin had previously formed a major market top, and it's very close to this top that Bitcoin formed as well at 53,000. And so this is why the 0.5 Fibonacci level is probably going to be a little bit more important for the chart, in my opinion. It's a bit of a shame because, you know, I want to see that the 618 level and 382 levels are going to be the most important ones, but they're not on this chart according to what I can see. And then finally the 236 level, I can't even read the number here, it's $61,500. That lines up perfectly with the boxes that I had drawn. I also want to take a look at this changed up a little bit, drawing the Fibonacci not from here, but instead from our trend low all the way up to our trend high, and see, yeah, right here, this lining up really, really well, this 618 level. Unfortunately, we didn't actually use it as support on the way down, but you know, what we did is use it as resistance, and this, again, you know, like I said, I want to see that the 618 levels are going to be the most important one, the 382 levels, that I want to see that they're going to be the most important ones on the chart. We're kind of getting that right here. The fact that we found resistance here, I don't think is any coincidence whatsoever. So again, you know, just seeing that we're approaching all of this resistance, to me, like, what makes all of this concerning is that we're seeing this while, you know, even I can't even show you different time frames here because I'm not logged in. But well, I wanted to show you like the 8-hour time frame, but we will see that the RSI, for example, not looking the best in my opinion for where this market is just at the moment. You know, and that potentially indicating that we are losing a little bit of momentum as we're trending upwards. Obviously, I think just keeping in mind that this whole pump came out of manipulation. You know, why would we do this? It's you know, we get this initial drop to stop out long positions, and we get this big pump to stop out short positions. You know, one of the points I was trying to make earlier on in this live stream is that, you know, when we have situations like this on this chart, you know, what we're really doing is we're triggering stop losses on short positions. And in order to close a short position, short basically means active selling, you need to start buying, right? If you're in a short position, that means you're selling Bitcoin, and in order to close that open position, you need to buy it back. And by buying it back, you inevitably push the price higher. And I think that's one of the big reasons that we got such a big move, which broke us above the 40k level in just one day. And I think that's what we could be looking at doing right now. It's actually worth taking a look at longs on this chart. So let's see the Bitfinex longs. They are rising up a little bit right now, up to about $35,000. Not super high. I mean, it's been way higher in the past. Let's take a look at shorts though. Are shorts closing? Because this would be the real tell in the market. They're actually quite low overall. This is not the most accurate data in the world to be looking at, to be honest. Let me take a look at if I think it's Binance. I've forgotten. I'm pretty sure this is how you can, yeah, right here, there we go. Binance is a good one to be looking at to see where you know, the market is in terms of opening up their longer short positions. And let's look at this on the daily time frame. And right now, yeah, we've got 53% of accounts going short and 46% going long, which is quite different to where we were, you know, towards the end of January, actually, where most of the accounts were going long compared to the accounts that were going short. And we've seen that shift now to where more people are actually trying to go short on the market. So this data actually coming in quite handy for the market. Open interest, not even, this is way too complicated for me to explain in this video, but open interest not even rising at the, oh no, this is the 5-minute time frame. Let's take a look at this on the 1 hour. Yeah, open interest has been dropping. So like, and it's been dropping as Bitcoin has been rising. It didn't drop by much though. It's not really a very fair representation. Take a look at this right here. Yeah, the long and short ratios that I was talking about. So kind of telling us the same thing really. You know, that, I mean, this is not accurate data at all. I don't even know what I can say about that. Let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum is one that I've been looking at very closely. I've been sharing a lot of updates on this within VIP as well. I have to be careful about what I say here because of the things that I've said in VIP. I obviously don't want to leak out that information accidentally. You guys know the deal, by the way. If you do want to jump inside of VIP, then you can do so by clicking on the first link in the description down below, and then the @4flights button at the bottom of any post, and then send message to ask me how to join 4flights VIP, and we'll give you all of that information right now as you're watching this live stream. But let's move us back to this chart right here. This is the Ethereum chart, where again it's at its equivalent area of resistance in my opinion. And by the way, guys, I'm wondering as I go on in this video, do you guys prefer a white background? Because I haven't used the white background for a really long time, but I actually kind of like it, you know. I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments, as you also drop your questions for me for this live stream. Sammy from phone to Bitcoin reviews. Damn, what a progress. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, many of you guys don't know this, but on this very same YouTube channel, I used to make gaming videos. I used to make music videos. I used to make technology reviews. I've been a YouTuber since I was 8 years old, so I've been around for quite a while. But yeah, you know, this area, very, very important for Ethereum. And actually, I should probably drag this box down a little bit lower. It's a big, big reversal point for the market. So someone's saying it's too bright. Someone else saying hell no. Okay, many of you guys prefer black. I'll go back to the other browser in just a minute. In fact, if so many of you don't like it, let me just make it dark right now. Bear with me. There we go. That's okay. Literally everybody is saying black. Okay, all right. I got you. This area being a very, very important reversal zone for Ethereum, and it's still in it right now. I think with Ethereum's chart, it's actually even more clear that it's running out of momentum. It's even, I mean, the green volume isn't even spectacular in my opinion. It's really from many different angles showing us that it is potentially running out of momentum here. It doesn't mean to say that it can't rise up. It can still definitely make another leg up, but it's not really the point here. It's that we are at crucial, when we're at crucial resistance, I want to make this point clear. Like, I mean, we can still peak up even for a few days and then come right back down, right? And we've done that kind of stuff before. So, like here was this was a classic fake out right here. So we can definitely do things like this, but again, like I'm saying, similar signs right here, where we are looking at resistance kind of hovering around the same areas on this chart, but instead for a completely different coin, for Cardano right here. So illustrating some very important points for us. Let's see what questions we have in the live chat before I carry on. Can I do 𝗧𝗙𝗙𝗜𝗧𝗢? I don't think so. I can't because 𝗧𝗙𝗙 has been a victim of Bitcoin's poor performance, and there's no point analyzing it in that case. It's mainly a fundamental thing, and I've already done my fundamental analysis on it. I'm super bullish on it, so I just gotta have to wait. I mean, no altcoin can really rise in that. I mean, like only Ethereum's the only altcoin that's really rising in this market, and even at that, it's not rising that much. If we look at Ethereum against Bitcoin on this chart, for example, it's really started to top out where I was warning you that it would probably top out. It is potentially in a little bit of a bull flag before continuing on higher, something that could look a little bit like this, where I always talk about those classic staircase patterns. We are potentially on one of them right now. However, I've already drawn this resistance line for you guys a very long time ago. I based a few trades off it as well that I shared inside of VIP, which went very well. It's back at this resistance line right now, guys. And, the fact that we even confirmed it as support and then still drop below it, to me, it just means that, it's so obvious that we should be finding resistance right here on the Ethereum chart against Bitcoin. And then we look at some of the other altcoins that I've been watching fairly closely over the past weeks and months, Cardano being another one of them. Let's take the Binance chart though, and you can see quite clearly, I mean, even Cardano is not doing amazingly, right? I mean, from its low, it's definitely moved up by a fairly substantial amount. I mean, it's up by about 26%, which by the way is less than Bitcoin, right? So here is actually it's right on par with Bitcoin. It's less than is it on par? No, it's less than Bitcoin. And so, that being a demonstration of how, like, any altcoin right now cannot really perform well in a market like this, in my opinion, just purely because the main character, Bitcoin, is in a lot of trouble. And so people are I think, generally going to be fairly scared of the market at the moment. And of course, that's going to have some quite important implications for where we could be headed. Let's see what other questions we have here in the chat. Let me bring my camera back on, since I've been getting so many beautiful compliments from you amazing people. Let's see what other questions we have here in the live chat. I just bought Bitcoin. Was it a mistake? I don't think it's a mistake to buy Bitcoin, man. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin overall. I mean, certainly I am expecting it to drop back down, but I mean, shit, like, if I could buy more, I would, you know what I mean? Like, I think these are great levels overall to be buying and holding Bitcoin and so on. Someone really wants me to take a look at 𝗪𝗪𝗥𝗙𝗪. Let me give it another shot. Hopefully I don't run into those same problems again right now. No, I am, so I can't look at 𝗪𝗪𝗥𝗙𝗪. I've no idea. I guess someone said just to refresh the whole browser. Let me try doing that real quick. By the way, remember how we had a lot of lighting problems? I think I've fixed pretty much all of them now, but let me know how it is on your side. And let me just see if I can open up a brand new browser to show you guys the same stuff. Bear with me, nearly done. All right, let's take a look at this. This should work now. It is a new browser, so let's see. No, same problem. All right. I'm gonna give up on this one. There are a few things I wanted to show you, like the 𝗪𝗙𝗧𝗧 indicator and so on, but if this ain't playing ball, then there's nothing I can do, and I can't log in right now during the live stream either. So really strange bug. I don't know if you guys have ever had this before, but it's only displaying like the top 10% of the chart. Everything else is fine. It's just the main chart doesn't show up, but I can move it, right? Like look at the time on the bottom here. Like I can move the chart. It's just the whole, it's like one whole element is just totally missing. Super strange. Never ever had this problem before. But yeah, that also means I can't show you 𝗪𝗪𝗥𝗙𝗚, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to go back to your questions and my notes in case I did miss anything. I think what I'll do is take a couple last questions and then probably actually head off for the live stream. I don't want to try and troubleshoot this right now because that's going to be very boring for people to sit through. Let me see if there's any notes I missed. No, not at all. That's all me done. So it's just your questions now. Is that a green screen view from your place? No, sir. This is the view from the Burj Khalifa. It's my graphic card. I don't think it's a graphic card. Do I believe there was something like a market maker? Yeah, 100%. There was always market makers. Can I look at Doge? I've had a lot of questions about Doge in this live stream. Not really sure why, but let's take a quick look at Doge anyway. We're looking at it against the dollar, right? That's usually what we do. I mean, Doge is in the same position as every coin, isn't it? I mean, it's actually a little bit worse because, you know, while Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, have overcome most of their resistance areas, Doge, for example, hasn't. And I'm sure we'd actually see this if we look at the overall crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin. We'll probably see this very clearly. Yeah, somewhat similar. What? Oh wow, it's the mandatory join trading view message. Let me see if I can refresh this and get past this message. Yeah, so right here on this trading view chart, this crypto market cap chart, we can see how there has been this area of resistance on the chart, and this is the whole market cap excluding Bitcoin. It's at major resistance right now. It hasn't even cleared it. It's still in the middle of it right now, which is slightly different to Bitcoin's chart. If we take a look at Bitcoin's chart and see where its resistance area was and is, we're kind of past it. We haven't fully breached it yet. We haven't, but like a lot of the resistance level is fairly low compared to where we are right now. Like we're right at the top of it, really. Again, I mean, it depends on how you draw it, right? But if I just drop two lines showing you the top and the bottom of this range, I mean, you know, about 43.2 showing us the top of the range. I mean, we basically hit that level. We hit like $43,000 today. In fact, if you look at the OHLC, you'll see that we went $36 higher than 43K. I mean, we basically hit the top of this range. But again, if we look at the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, you know, we can see that we're not so deep into the resistance range for the rest of crypto. You know, which again, you know, when we start talking about altcoins and where they could be going, this is quite a clear sign of how actually it's not such a rosy picture for the rest of the market when you compare it to Bitcoin. Let me see if I can show you that chart again right here. See, we're not really that deep into the resistance box compared to where Bitcoin is. Do I only trade or do I have a passive income from staking? Well, I have Swissborg, which is linked in the description down below. I hold Swissborg and I stake it there. I think it's yields, it's the same thing. It's not the same as like most staking that other people do. It's a lot safer, but it also pays out a lot less. Still pretty good in my opinion, especially if you're bullish on their coin, which I am. Although it's been very painfully slow for a long time. Which is a good and a bad thing, but yeah, Swissborg is one that I've been holding for a long time, and I've been staking and earning profits on as well, which is pretty cool. Oh, I mentioned XRP. Yeah, I'm gonna save XRP for the next video or live stream, which I make later tonight, because I'm having too many technical issues right now. Getting a lot of the same questions repeated right now, some of which I've already covered. And guys, I just want to remind you, if you're new to these live streams, please don't ask me for a summary. Just rewind the live stream and you'll hear everything again from the very beginning. Someone's mentioned something very, very true here in my opinion. Even after this huge run, it could literally be another lower high. If the inflation news Thursday is bad, that's exactly what will happen. Yeah, I mean, that's 3-4 days away. I didn't even know about that news pending for the market. But of course, I mean, these are things which can, you know, what I love to see is when the market rallies right into resistance areas and then people become really bullish and then bearish headlines start dropping. I mean, it's like watching a bear just run right into a bear trap, right? Like, I mean, it's very, very predictable stuff. And I mean, if you can't see this, then you know, you need to reconsider how you approach the markets, because this kind of stuff happens all the time. You know, like I said, if we're actually forming if this market has actually bottomed out, you know, I would expect to see a more clear pattern showing us that the market has indeed bottomed out. You know, like last time we consolidated at the support level and tested it many times. We set like a 5 times bottom at the same general price area. We found a lot of consolidation here. We had, in fact, you know, the clearest sign of a bullish breakout that we can ever have, in my opinion, especially in this recent market state, which was right here, where Bitcoin actually formed, you know, quite a classic falling wedge pattern where it's, you know, basically condensing its price action to the downside and getting ready to blow up. That's a very nice breakout pattern for a market bottom. Here, all we did is we set a low, and we were setting quite a few lows, but let's just say like we set a low here, and then we sweep that low here, and then we set another low here. I'm not counting this one. And then we sweep that low here, and then we just set another low. That's all we've done here, ladies and gents. Bitcoin just set a brand new trend low, and it's immediately started to rally up. I can't see how this rally up is any different to this rally up. It's just that now we're even more overextended, so I would expect that this rally up will be a little bit stronger than this one right here. That's all I'm thinking about in this price range right now. We're coming off a brand new swing low, and we didn't form any bullish patterns on this chart that I can see. I mean, maybe there is one that I just haven't noticed in my 4 or 5 years of being, you know, 4 years of being a competent technical analyst and 5 years of trying to be. You know, I mean, I haven't spotted it, so maybe you guys have. You know, but it's like, to me, it's just not there. And then again, we just, like, when you consider how extreme, because it was extreme from the high to the absolute low that Bitcoin set, this is a more than 52% crash, and it only happened within 2.5 months. Bang on, within 2.5 months. That's really, really quick, you know, to be getting such a big sell-off without any real relief. So fuck me, we're going up by 30%, right? Like that's not the most shocking thing in the world, considering how extreme the sell-off has been. 30% up in 2 weeks, right? Like, it, to me, this screams of reaction rally. It screams of bull trap. It screams of, you know, market manipulation about to re-enter the market with bearish headlines. I mean, we're probably, if we over the course of this week start seeing a lot of very bearish headlines as we're at these resistance levels, don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. You know, the good thing, like I said though, is that because we've overcome so many resistance areas, we can now find a little bit of support. You know, one of the areas that I was saying this very, very clearly about was about, you know, the 39 to 38K range, kind of between these two blue lines right here. If Bitcoin falls, you know, basically to these levels or in between them, you know, I can definitely expect a lot of support for Bitcoin before then continuing up. And that would obviously be very, very bullish for the market if we did. And it's the same thing for, you know, the 41K level, the 40K level. I mean, these are also price areas which we could potentially drop down into and find a little bit of support in right now. It could be that we form a little bit of a bull flag, right, in this kind of range, and we trade sideways for the next week or the next couple of days and so on, and then we end up rallying higher. Like, that would also make total sense to me, in my opinion. But bottom line, again, I mean, until we, you know, really breach that, you know, mid 40K level right here, we're still underwater. We're still really in a resistance area, and we're only forming a very excited reaction rally into it. So shout out to Mark Lamb calling me Hugh Hefner. Thank you very much. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It depends on how sensitive the viewers are today. We got any sensitive people in the live stream today? If we do, you know what to do. You know where the door is. I think it was in the last video I mentioned in an almost considerate tone at the very beginning. I want you guys to all know that this is not a safe space. This channel is not a safe space. This is where feelings get hurt and reality bombs get dropped. This is what the channel is about. And if you appreciate that, smash up the likes and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Let's see what else we have here in the chat. I'm going to take a couple last questions and then head off, because it has been nearly 1 hour since I've started this live stream. Thanks for your stream, man. Appreciate it. Keep staying sexy. Love the shirt. Thank you very, very much. Let's see what other questions we have here. I don't want to be looking at shitcoins or anything like that for now. I just want to be answering more general market questions. Do I remember paying $10,000 for some indicator? Yes, I do. I can't forget. That was very expensive. Can I show it to you right now? No, I can't, but I'll show it to you for the very next video. I have been using that and it's been very useful. I will talk about it later on. Let's see what other snowflake free zone. That's exactly what this YouTube channel is. Hell yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Got another question for Ethereum. I'm just curious. I want to take another quick peep at it. Better not to watch it right now, to be honest. Just gotta let the market play its course. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Alright guys, I think I will call it a stream, because I'm not getting any new real questions about the about technicals, and some of the questions I am getting I'm not even qualified to answer, like how do I think crypto market will respond to Super Bowl commercials? I have no idea about that. I don't even know the Super Bowl is happening because I don't live in the United States. What's so weird is that there's no exact reason for this rally. No good news, no inflation numbers, no good news from the Fed. This has to be a trap. Well, I kind of disagree with that, because I think that there's, like, you don't need, I mean, this is a big point to start with, is you don't need news for the market to be trending higher, right? I mean, like, all you need is for people to consider that Bitcoin's probably at a bit of a good price, and then you need selling pressure to drop. And one of the biggest, easiest ways that you can expect selling pressure to drop is if selling pressure is exhausted, right? If there's so much continuous selling pressure like there has been over the past, 80 days, let's say, or 90 days, since Bitcoin set its all-time high, and then 75 days later until it set its low at $33,000. That's a lot of very continuous selling pressure. And so one of the easiest ways that we can completely exhaust selling pressure is by selling a lot. And once all those Bitcoins have been sold, there's no more supply left in the market, and there's going to be an imbalance of supply and demand. So naturally, demand picks us back up, and the market starts rallying up quite nicely again, and that can obviously be what sends the market a little bit higher, and then we break resistance levels, and shorts start getting closed. We don't need news for this stuff. Bottom line, when Bitcoin topped out at 69K, there was also no real reason that Bitcoin should have done that, in my opinion. Bitcoin is just as strong now. Actually, it's even stronger now than it was 2 months ago. It gets stronger every single day, and it's also stronger than it was years ago, and so on. And that doesn't really seem to matter, because at the end of the day, if people were buying Bitcoin because of how strong it is or the news and so on, it would behave more like a stock, but it doesn't. People buy it mainly as an instrument to speculate, and that's one of the reasons that I like to trade it so much, is that actually, if you understand psychology and you've taken the time to learn how to trade, which is what we do inside of the 4Flights VIP group, you can watch me trading and learn from my courses that I've made about the markets. So you can learn everything I know about trading and analyzing, and then watch me implement those lessons in real time at the very, very same time. It's a very, very powerful package. That's what we're putting forward for you guys. But my point is that if you understand human psychology, at least at some sort of competent level, and you've also taken the time to study technical analysis, actually you're going to be really well positioned to understand the Bitcoin market specifically, because it is, in my opinion, a fairly predictable market in terms of how psychology plays such big factors with what's going on right now. So There we go. That's my take on the news or lack thereof for the pump and dump that we've been seeing. Good shit as usual, Sammy. Thanks again. Thank you very much, Pablo. Appreciate that a lot. Let's see what else we got here. The stock market saw a relief rally. Let's actually take a look at that because I think it's just opened. The stock market's probably just opened in the past few minutes. So let me take a quick look at the S&P 500. Who does my hair? Well, I just jumped out of the shower literally like 2 minutes before the live stream began. So I don't really care about my hair, to be quite honest. Oh, it's not open yet. What's going on? When does it open? It opens in 2.5 hours. Really? That's not right, is it? Oh, I guess it is right. Okay. I don't know where I got that impression from. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that means that stocks aren't trading yet either. So, nothing I can really say. They're pre-market. They're rallying pre-market. I don't really want to be looking at that stuff. Yep, so I'll have to revisit that later on. We love your input, Sammy. It's not preachy and creams. Your input is important. Thank you very much. Don't really understand your comment, but thank you. It sounds like a compliment. Chief Shaman mentioning, I doubt your course is any different from the rest. Well, I would encourage you to set up a phone call with a member of my team and allow them to tell you about it. And you'll see that it absolutely is. The way you can do that if you want to get more information about what we're offering and see if you would be a good fit for what we put forward is by clicking on the first link in the description down below and then on the @4flies button at the bottom of any post instead of 4flies gold, and then send message to ask me how to join VIP. At that same time, Mr. Shaman, you can request a call with a member of my team if you want more information about what we offer, and we'll run you through exactly how the course has been structured. I don't want to run through it right now because it'll take a few minutes, but it's been built in a very unique way. I'm actually super proud of it. We have I actually have some very, very impressive testimonials. This guy joined VIP with $30,000 in our yearly plan. He had access to the Advanced Academy course, and he became a millionaire after joining. And one of the things he had access to was our Advanced 4flies Academy. We've seen a lot of people make their first ever trades inside of VIP and pull beautiful, beautiful results. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. This is a duplicate picture, actually. I don't know why it's duplicated. That's a mistake. You know, very, very impressive results that we've been able to see across the board. This person paid off his fee of entering VIP within 4 hours, although I don't have the top message here, entering the Hall of Fame for our members who paid off our fee within 24 hours. We've seen some very, very impressive results. This was one of the recent mind-blowing ones where one of our yearly members paid off his subscription fee within a day of joining, which was very, very impressive. He probably didn't have enough time to go through the course, to be honest, but yeah, there's a lot going on, and we can help you out, and even, you know, speak to you about your situation as well. All you got to do is yeah, follow these steps on screen and ask for it, and we'll set up that call. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. I'm probably gonna call it a stream here, actually. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Someone's asking me about Solana. I'm tempted. Let me see if I can analyze a little bit of Solana. Let me see if I get lucky and actually I'm able to pull up the chart on this browser, because this is where I would prefer to analyze by far, because if it works, I can then show you the Fibonacci, I'm sorry, the MRI indicator and so on, but no, still doesn't work. So let's take a very quick look at Solana against the dollar. See what we got here. Still looking pretty terrible, to be honest. I mean, like, Solana's in an even worse position because its resistance is way higher than where it is right now. Just reconfirming what I showed you about the crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. You know, like Solana hasn't even reached its area of resistance yet. This is one of the key reasons that I'm so bearish on the market generally right now, is that, like, it doesn't mean that I'm saying we're going to go down right now. Like, we can still take, like, I want to make this very clear, we can still make legs up, but I mean, these coins haven't even reached resistance yet, and it's already rallied by how much? From low to current price, it's up by 43%, and it's still not even at its resistance level. Like, to me, that's only, like, if guys, keep this in mind. If Solana does rise up to this resistance level from here, yeah, I mean, we're looking at a move from low to entering the middle of this range. It would have to rise up by 63%. That's a huge move. You know, to be going up by 63%, you have to ask yourself, how much further can it actually go? It's in a downtrend, for fuck's sakes. Like, you don't see huge rallies like this. Right, a lot of the time you're just moving down. Let's take a look at this rally. This was a 28% rally. This rally was huge. What was it? What was this one? This was a 33% rally. This was a 40% rally. Right, we're at 44. Like, this is the single biggest reaction rally we've seen in the whole downtrend so far, and we still haven't even hit resistance. So is Solana looking better? Absolutely not. It's looking terrible. It's looking absolutely terrible to me. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a stream for this one, so you know what to do if you have enjoyed it. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the very next one. Bye-bye. One more note. If you want some free cash, you already know the deal with Bybit. If you use my link down below and make your first deposit, you'll get some free cash. So check that out as well. You can use that to trade in the markets. If you want to go short on the market with some free cash that you previously didn't even have, all you got to do is, make your first deposit. They'll give you that money and you can rip trades with it. You can do whatever you like. And if you make profits, that money is yours. So definitely take advantage of that because it is free trading firepower. Very, very impressive and useful stuff. Anyway, that's me done. So I hope you have enjoyed this one. You know what to do if you have. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, join our free Telegram channel by clicking on